Okay, good morning everyone. We'll discuss with the other blood group systems. Along with the ABO and RH blood group system, there are some of the minor blood group systems which are of not that important during the blood transfusion or transplantation, but some of the minor blood group antigens, they play a little role. They have some little biological significance, but most of them are not that important. Okay, so we are going to discuss some 8 different types of blood group systems, other blood group system which are found in the erythrocyte, found on the erythrocyte, and one or two on leukocyte, and another one on the platelet. The first one is known as the Duffy antigens. Okay, if you look into this uh, other blood group system, most of the other blood groups are named after the patient in whom it was first identified. Duffy antigen, that is located on the RBC or erythrocyte membrane, it has a special type of protein called as the Duffy antigen. This particular name, or the name Duffy antigen, that is given after the patient in which this particular antigen was identified. That patient name is Duffy, and it acts as a receptor for chemokine substances. Okay, chemokines are the substances which can do the chemotaxis process, or the chemical substances which are released by the neutrophils or any other immune cells which can attract the immune cells. Those are known as the chemokines. Duffy antigens can act as a receptor for chemokines. Some of the chemokines will be binding to the Duffy antigen receptor, and it is also called as cluster of differentiation 234. You just look at the number. We have discussed about CD4, CD8, CD16. Now you look at the cluster of differentiation number 234. So you can just imagine how many numbers of cluster of differentiations are there on the RBCs and WBCs. And it can act as a receptor for Plasmodium vivax. So the malarial parasite, this can bind on the this particular Duffy antigen. If the RBC, if it possesses Duffy antigen, those people will be prone to malaria. Okay, the individuals with the Duffy negative phenotype, if the phenotype is Duffy negative, or on the RBC if they don't have Duffy antigen, they will be resistant to Plasmodium infection. Fine, clear with Duffy antigen. Why are they called as Duffy antigen? Because it was named or it was first identified in a patient, Miss Duffy. That is why it is called as Duffy antigen. Where are they located? They are located on the RBC, and the main function of this Duffy antigen is it will act as a chemokine receptor during the chemotaxis process, and it is also called as CD234. With this will act as a receptor for Plasmodium vivax. Next is known as the Lewis antigen. Lewis system, this is also named after the patient in which this particular antigen was identified. This was identified in Lewis, so they named it as Lewis antigen. Lewis system differs from all other blood group antigens. So all the blood group antigen, if you see, most of them, they are membrane bound. But in the case of Lewis antigen, these antigens are soluble in nature. What do you mean by soluble in nature? They are present in the secretion. Okay, present in the secretions and in the plasma you can see. So in the saliva, in the plasma, you can see this particular antigen. So they are not membrane bound, they are soluble in nature or secreted in nature. There are two types of basic Lewis antigens. One is LEA and another one is LEB. And Lewis antigen genes are governed by genes controlling the H secretion. You remember the H secretion. What do you mean by H secretion? H antigen. So yesterday's class we discussed about the H antigen. What are H antigen? The antigen which is present on the O blood group individuals, those antigens are known as the H antigens. Where are these H antigen genes are located? They are located on the chromosome number 19. So similarly, in the same chromosome number 19 itself, these Lewis antigen genes are located. That is why it is given as Lewis antigen genes are governed by genes controlling H secretions. And the Lewis antigen genes, the Lewis antigen can be seen in the saliva, plasma, okay, and they are usually glycoproteins and glycolipids. Lewis antigens are usually glycoproteins or glycolipids, similar to that of your ABO blood group system. Lewis antigens are usually poorly developed at the birth, and red cells from the cord bloods are usually Lewis negative, and this will develop in the later life. So Lewis antigens are not developed during the birth, it will be developed in the later stages of the life. And Lewis antigens, this will also act as a receptor for Helicobacter pylori. Have you heard of Helicobacter pylori? This is the organism which will cause peptic ulcer. So ulcer is caused by this Helicobacter pylori. So whoever has this Lewis antigen, they will be prone to Helicobacter pylori infection. Okay, this Lewis antigen that will act as a receptor for Helicobacter pylori. And Lewis antibodies will be synthesized in the body whenever you are exposed to this Lewis antigen in a very limited amount. Antibodies will be synthesized. These antibodies are predominantly immunoglobulin M. That's all about the Lewis antigens. Next one is XG antigens. This is the third type of antigen, XG antigen. There are two different types of antigens, or number of antigens are two. They are XGA and CD99. These genes are located on the X chromosome. Okay, Duffy antigen genes are located on chromosome number 1. Lewis antigen genes are located on chromosome number 19. XG antigens genes are located on chromosome X chromosome, and they don't have any much clinical significance. XG antigen, they don't have any clinical significance. CD99, that is a second type of the XG antigen, they are present on the even on the Y chromosome also. Corresponding antibodies are very rare and they don't have any clinical significance. Now the next one is MNS antigen. Number of antigens are 43, and these are located on chromosome number 4. The genes which codes for these antigens are GYPB and GYPE. This also can act as a receptor for the malarial parasite. Plasmodium falciparum can bind to the MNS antigen. So people with MNS antigen and your Duffy antigen, they are prone to malarial infection. Plasmodium vivax can bind to the Duffy antigen, whereas Plasmodium falciparum can bind to the MNS antigen system. The antibodies are synthesized against this MNS anti-M, which is very uncommon, but commonly you can see in infants. Anti-N is also not common, but react with 70% of the random sample. And they are called as cold reactive antibodies because the reaction happens in a very less temperature, thereby it is called as the cold reactive antibodies. Now the next one is known as platelet antigen. Platelet antigens are the antigens which are located on, or antigens which are present on the platelets. There are different types of platelet antigens. One is human platelet antigen, or HPA. HPA stands for human platelet antigen. Second one is platelet specific antigen, and the third one is known as the MHC class 1. So three different types of antigens are seen on the platelet, and they play a major role during the platelet transfusion. So nowadays people don't go for the entire blood transfusion. Whenever they need some of the blood component, they go for the blood component therapy. When they go for the platelet transfusion, for example in the case of dengue fever, they go for the platelet transfusion. When they go for the platelet transfusion, the platelet antigen matching will be checked. Sometimes, very rarely, there can be reaction that happens because of the platelet antigens which are present, or because of the difference in the platelet antigens which are there on the donor and the recipient. And HLA class 1, these are the predominant one, and the gene location of all the human platelet antigens are already known, and they play a role in the transfusion. And because of the difference in the platelet antigen, there can be a chance of post transfusion purpura, which is usually seen in the case of platelet transfusion. And next one, which is you are familiar with, which is called as the human leukocyte antigen. We have already discussed under the major histocompatibility complex. Major histocompatibility complex in human being is also known as the human leukocyte antigen. What are the types of human leukocyte antigen? Class 1 and class 2. Class 1 MHC, they are present on all the nucleated cells, whereas class 2 MHC, they are present on the antigen presenting cells such as B lymphocyte, macrophages, and dendritic cells. The structure of the class 1 MHC molecule, it has alpha polypeptide, which is combined with a beta 2 microglobulin. I think all of you remember the structure. If you are not remembering the structure, please go through the major histocompatibility complex chapter and look into the structure of class 1 and class 2 MHC molecule. Class 2 MHC, it has two polypeptide chains, alpha and beta. They will fold and it will have a immunoglobulin like structure, thereby it is coming under human leukocyte antigens are coming under immunoglobulin superfamily proteins. Class 1 MSC molecule, it can bind to the CD8 lymphocyte. What are CD8 lymphocyte? CD8 lymphocytes are your T cytotoxic cells, and class 2 MHC, it can bind to the CD4 lymphocyte or the T helper cells. There is a third type of class MHC molecule, which is called as the class 3 MHC molecule. But class 3 MHC molecule, they don't have a proper structure. They are soluble in nature. But when you talk about the human leukocyte antigen or the membrane bound antigen, there are only two types, class 1 and the class 2 MHC molecule. These genes for class 1 and class 2 MHC are located on the short arm of chromosome number 6. It contains cluster of genes which are known as the major histocompatibility complex or the HLA region. This plays a major role during the transplantation process. So when people go for transplantation, usually they check for the matching, human leukocyte antigen matching. Next one is known as the KEL system. This is another type of antigen, and this was first identified in Kellatcher. That is why it is called as KEL antigen system. These are erythrocyte antigen or the antigen which are present on the RBC membrane, and usually because of the antibodies which are synthesized against the KEL system, it can cause hemolysis and hemolytic disease of the newborn, which we have discussed so many times. So this plays a little role in hemolysis and the hemolytic disease of the newborn, but this also has not they don't have much importance. It can cause hemolysis, or whenever the hemolysis is happening, KEL system will activate the hemolysis process, or hemolytic disease of the newborn will be activated, or the process will be little severe if those individuals, if they have the KEL system of antigen. Next one is KID system. These are another type of antigen which is present on the RBC. This was first identified in this, again it is named after the patient in whom it was first identified, and the KID system that can act as a urea transporter. Okay, so we have different types of transporters which are present on the plasma membrane, and the KID system, it can act as a urea transporter. So these are the various types of minor blood group antigens which are usually seen. They don't have much importance, but some of the receptors will act as the binding site for some of the organisms, bacteria. Some of them will act as a binding site for some other organisms such as Plasmodium vivax and Plasmodium falciparum. Lewis antigen, if those who have Lewis antigen system, they will be prone to Helicobacter pylori, which causes peptic ulcer. Now, I have a question for you people. You have to find out the answer for this one, and please you can WhatsApp me the answer. The question is, how are blood antibodies synthesized? And yesterday's class I made a chart and I told you that if the individual's blood group is A, the antigen which is present is A and antibody which is present is B. How are those antibodies synthesized in an individual? So because we know that why this question is raised is usually we know that when an antigen enters into the body, then your body will start synthesizing the antibody. Even if without exposing to that particular antigen, the antibodies are synthesized in an individual. Okay, so if B blood group individual, they will have anti-A antibody. How is it possible? How are those blood antibodies synthesized? That is the question. Please find out the answer and you can message me back. And one more question, one more interesting thing is there are some articles running in the WhatsApp groups and all that they say that people with blood group O, they will not be getting the COVID-19 infection, or even if they get, the severity of the infection will be less when compared to other blood group. Kindly find out the reason for that also. Why are O blood group system people are resistant to COVID-19? Because when they conducted a survey, they could find that people who were who got this infection, most of them were other blood group. O blood group people will not be getting that particular infection, COVID-19 infection, corona infection, that they will not be getting that easily. Find out the reason for that. First question is, how are blood antibodies synthesized? Second one, how O blood group people escape from, or what is that factor which will prevent the COVID-19 infection in blood group O individual. Fine. It's an interesting, both are interesting one. Please go through some of the article, find out the answer. Don't just see the Wikipedia. If you send the Wikipedia answer, I can make out by looking at the answer itself. Use your brain, and if you can make diagrams, make diagram and present your answer in a very proper way. Okay, thank you.